Hello! Today we will be walking through how to create an optimizer run within Astra Schedule. The optimizer is our bulk room assignment tool for a term that can assign rooms to your sections and then can be published and exported back to your student information system. To start an optimizer run, click on the Academics tab and go to the Scheduling Sandboxes link. It is known as a sandbox because you can run it many times without it actually touching your production data either within Astra Schedule or your student information system. To create a new optimizer run, simply click New and then Room Optimization in the top left corner of the page. The optimizer needs to be named appropriately. This will be our Spring 2019 optimizer run. It is going to be our first run of the optimizer for this term, and I'm going to run at an 80% seat fill percentage. This naming convention will make sense once we walk through the rest of our settings here. Underneath our name is where we can choose what we want to run the optimizer on. You can see that you have two options of where the optimizer is going to look for sections. First is the production term, which is any of your sections living in the section list. And second is a sandbox, and this is for our layering of the optimizer, where you can layer one optimizer run after another to assign rooms at a lower seat fill percentage using a different preference set, things like that. For more information on layering, please contact your client experience manager. We're going to run off a production term and we're going to be optimizing sections. You can also optimize exams. But I'm going to come here and find my Spring 2019 term. Click Done to apply that. And now I know that I will be running the optimizer on the Spring 2019 sections that are living within the section list. To the right, I can choose my room preference set. You can only assign one preference set per optimizer run. Simply click your preference set that you would like to run the optimizer through in the drop-down. And below is our Keep Existing Room Assignments box. There are two places where this is often checked. First is if you're running off the production term and you have some room assignments already created in your term, then you can check this Keep Existing Room Assignments box and the optimizer will not wipe out and reassign those sections to new rooms. If you have room assignments but you do not want any of them to be kept, you will not want to check Keep Existing Room Assignments. The other time that you will check this is if you are layering your sandboxes and you've run the first run at 80% seat fill and gotten quite a few room assignments. If you want to run it again for anything that was not assigned at a lower seat fill percentage, you would layer, keep existing room assignments from the first run, and it would run again and only assign sections that did not get room assignments. For now, I'm not going to check Keep Existing Room Assignments as this is my first run and I don't have any room assignments that I would like to keep. I'm going to collapse our top group. And now I can see that I have filters that I can choose from. Under our room filters, we have regions and buildings. And this is where we can tell the optimizer that you only want sections to go into rooms either in a selected region or in selected buildings. I'm going to keep mine open for now. Keep in mind that a section is tied to a campus, and so if you are a multi-campus institution, the optimizer will only ever put a section onto a room that is in the same campus that the section and the room are associated to. In our section filters, we can also choose which sections we want to run the optimizer through. For example, if you are a multi-campus school, you can choose which campus you want to run through the optimizer, or you can run them all at one time. You can choose to run certain meeting types like lecture, labs, anything like that. You can also choose to run certain subjects or certain departments. Keep in mind the departments do have to be configured within Astra Schedule. You can also choose to run based on standard meeting patterns that you will have to manually select within the meeting patterns within Astra Schedule. And those are your different section filters that you can choose. For now, I want to run everything for Spring 2019, and I want it to be able to go onto any room within the campus that the section is associated to. On the right-hand side, we have our priorities and settings. And we can change our scoring balance to say whether we think preferences or seat fill are more important. And then based on those preferences, we can say which preferences are more important, whether the room types, features, regions, buildings, or rooms within the preference set are more important. We have most clients that keep these at the default, as that is what the algorithm is originally based on. So you can keep those the same, and that is totally fine. And then we have pre-process required preferences, which is a checkbox that is automatically checked, and we recommend that you always have. This means that it will look at your green preferences, the required preferences first. We also have pre-processed back-to-back instructors, and this is where you can have an instructor that has a back-to-back course. You can set what a back-to-back interval would be, and this is usually whatever your passing period is, whether it's 10 or 15 minutes. And you can require that those instructors stay within the same building or even the same room. We recommend the same building, as you could have an instructor teach a class of 10 and then a class of 50, and those most likely do not need to be in the same room. Lastly is our minimum seat fill percentage, and this is how much of the room we would like to fill with the class enrollment. Now you have two enrollments that you can run off of. You can run off the max capacity of the course. If you are running the optimizer before registration, you will have to use the maximum capacity, as you will not have enrollments yet. But you can run the actual enrollment, and this would be after registration if you want to run based on how many students have actually signed up for the class. In my name, I changed this to 80%, so I'm going to run off of an 80% seat fill percentage, which means my classes will need to fit at least 80% of the classrooms that they are assigned to. If it does not fit that 80% seat fill percentage, it will not be scheduled into that space. Those are all of your settings when going through and setting up your optimizer run. You can then click Save in the top left corner, and Save means Run. Please refer to our other video that will walk you through the results of the optimizer. And if you have any other questions on setting up an optimizer run, please contact your client experience manager.